Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one because we are back in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, and certainly Torrance Banks and Home and NEW and the Riot in the Ring have most certainly helped build this platform to what it is today. But boy, our guest is literally in the center of it all. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to get his reactions on what happened today in NEW on the latest episode of Vortex, where there's new tag team champions, and that sort of involves a man that he had a match with the prior week at Star Clash 7. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Riot in the Ring, where I saw my fellow New Yorker announced as one of the members now of the Riot in the Ring. We'll certainly get his thoughts on last night's guest, Chase Wakefield, talk about, well, maybe after all, he does want to see some unwanted who are no longer unwanted at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. We'll certainly throw in maybe this guy, Rad Dad Radley Belmont. Maybe we'll have a thought there, since maybe, well, Torrance Banks can, I don't know, have a chat, maybe even have a face-to-face with Mr. Rad Dad Radley Belmont. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about what on earth is going on in House of Misfits Entertainment Backyard Wrestling, because, well, it looks like those roommates champions, they were very busy last week, but are they even going to be just as busy this week? And what does our guest think about last week's guest, Mickey Vargas and Onyx? And boy, did Onyx even go too far for our guest's liking? And plus, who knows whatever else we're going to talk about. But, since we are here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and I'm speaking with a fellow New Yorker, as we know, we don't get a chance to speak to too many New Yorkers here on Sportzwire Radio. I have to give our guest that introduction because he already got it once. He's going to want it again. And especially after, well, this man beast, this War Machine Rhino liked it. This guy, Savio Vega, who wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin and made his career, some would say, liked it. And this guy, Doug Pinnick, the front man of King's X, who just played in the Dominican Republic, opening for Tool last night, seemed to like it. I must give our guest that introduction on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. So let's get to it now, ladies and gentlemen, and introduce our guest, who's no longer unwanted, but is most certainly wanted to talk about what's in store for him and the companies he represents. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sport Report, number one
Let's go.
sports show. Welcome to the dog pound. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one half of those roommates tag team champions of the world. His name is simply put, he's no longer unwanted. He's wanted because he's
Let's go, people. Come on. Come on, people. Come on, people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, people. Come on. go. All honesty, people. Come on.
All eyes on me, my friend. How are we doing? The champ is here.
I am doing good, Tom. How are you? How's everybody doing tonight on this Saturday? It's Saturday. It's 8 o'clock. People, you know where you should be here on Sportswire Radio with myself and the Reverend Tom Bryce, the voice of the All Wrestling Matters movement. Come on.
Well,
let's go.
Got people here in the chat. Listen, no. We got people here. We got plenty to talk about. I'm doing great. As I always say, well, ask me after we do the interview with my voice. But no, it'll definitely hold up. I've got more soda on the corner, so I'll definitely be able to have a good chat with you. It's great to be with you. I really enjoyed our conversation last month you were here, and it was really one of the better conversations I had this year, and I have no doubt that this conversation is going to be just as good, if not better. There is so much to talk about, but you know what? Since I see him here, I want to ask you about our guest last night, who had plenty to say actually about you and your brothers in The Unwanted, because it seems like for those that are listening and watching in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where most certainly The Unwanted most certainly helped build Sportswire Radio to what it is today, to nearly 1,500 subscribers. Chase Wakefield, this guy, Chase Wakefield, who's got this Chase Wakefield wedding invitation.
You talking about the Bitcoin? You talking about the Bitcoin billionaire Chase Wakefield?
Yeah, well, he ain't going to be a Bitcoin billionaire after he gets married, because he's going to probably be knocked down to being just a millionaire. But he had a lot to say about you and the rest of The Unwanted, because apparently he wants you guys, and he's even talking about maybe you guys showing up for a night too. So I get your reactions, and well, Torrance Banks, you're no longer unwanted. You're wanted to be a part of the Chase Wakefield wedding invitational.
I'm very first off, Chase Wakefield, Mr. Bitcoin billionaire. I am flattered that you want the four of us at your wedding. Not only at your wedding, where we like to, people know we like to party, but at your wedding, at your ceremony as well, at night 2 of your wedding. Like, I'm flattered. I know if they're listening in, they're flattered too. And maybe the four of us can, when we see each other, sit down, have a conversation, and see where the feels are. Like, are we gonna come down to PA and come wrestle at the Chase Wakefield Invitational? I want to. I know I want to, and I bet probably Vargas wants to as well. But
Mickey was here last week. We spoke about it with Mickey. Mickey was like, "Yeah, we got to be there." I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be adamant about it.
It's going to be one of the biggest shows. And I say biggest shows because legitimately the talent on night 1 alone says that this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be a big show.
I have Austin James, who's here, who's going to be a part of it, and I mean, the names that are going to be on the card already. I mean, Matt DeMorris. I mean, just unbelievable wrestling.
And
Wakefield.
The fact that Wakefield was able to book Matt DeMorris in a singles match is insane. That's a match I'm looking forward to.
Me too, but it's interesting because Mr. Wakefield was very adamant about The Unwanted being there. He said, Tom, I do like the guys in home. I like the guys in NEW. And, I've heard it. They're absolutely right. They need to be there. But it's funny that since, Mr. Wakefield wants you there, there's this guy who last month you had plenty to say about, and you were adamant in your own right about wanting to wrestle him, Mr. Rad Dad Radley Belma, who's, by the way, the YWN World Heavyweight Champion. And, he's going to be in action, but the good news is that he's still available maybe for singles action, because he's only in tag team action because it's the stepdads versus the bad son. So maybe since Mr. Wakefield is looking for another night and The Unwanted are now wanted to be at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, maybe, Mr. Banks, you might get your wish after all and get a shot with Rad Dad Radley Belmont.
I mean, that is if Rad Dad Radley Belmont wants to dance. That is if he's like not tired enough from taking care of his stepkids or doing whatever he does. If he wants to step in the ring with me on night 2 of the Chase Wakefield Invitational with the GBYWN title on the line, I mean, I have no problem stepping in the ring with him. I've wanted this wish for a very long time to actually get an opportunity with that belt on the line.
Torrance, I got your back because I am going to say something that I know I'm very confident I can say here on this platform. Now, obviously, there was a clip that I shared on social media which tagged Mr. Rad Dad Radley Belmont about you and you wanted to have a match with him and I spoke to Rad Dad about it and you may be aware of this as I'm pretty sure you are actually, and he liked the idea of facing you and he seemed very open to that possibility. So, well, I guess now that maybe you and Mr. Rad Dad are going to be in the same place at least for one, maybe even 2 nights. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this is the place to make it happen.
I have a feeling that the Wakefield Invitational might have to be the place. It may have to be. I mean, who knows what other opportunity I would have at Rad Dad if he is the champion or if he's not the champion whenever the GBYWN fellas throw another super show. Who knows if he'll be champion still or not? So
that's true. I mean, that is a good point. We have, a few months to get there. We don't know what Rad will do with that title. I mean, that's a valid
exactly
point.
I don't know if Rad will drop the title, keep the title. I don't know. So many things in my head are saying you should show up to the Wakefield Invitational and get that shot.
But maybe Rad will keep it. I mean, I'm betting on Rad to keep it and to have you and him in the ring. And Rad seemed positive about it. He seemed like he liked you. He seemed like he liked your ability, and it's a match that I think why not?
I respect it. I mean, it's with me, it's game recognized game. Like I acknowledge what Rad Dad is doing. I do. I acknowledge that he's doing his thing on not only Grimm's Toy Show, but in other promotions. Like, yep. I acknowledge it 100%. But then on the other hand, it's like, hey, it's like, why not me be next in line? Why not be, be that guy that people can acknowledge as well as to what I'm doing in NEW, what I'm doing at home, what I've been doing for the last like 15 or so years in this underground circuit. Like, I feel like now with this platform you've given all of us, it's like now we have opportunities to make our dreams come true.
I mean, why not? Like that. Listen, Matt Morris, right? He's wrestling Chase Wakefield. Mr. Wakefield talked about last night about how much he looked up to Mr. DeMorris and how he was a fan of his. And as most of us were fans of the GBYWN and the history of it. And you're a guy that's been doing this longer than most of the guys that come on this platform. And I think, Mr. Banks, that it is time for guys like you, guys like Vargas, guys like Shock, Draven, yes, even Onyx, to get that recognition outside of your own Fed or maybe NEW, and maybe the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational is that platform where you guys could have that. And if Rad's going to be there, I mean, why not?
Why not meet the champion face to face? Why not me show up and whenever his match is at the end of it, possibly meet the champion face to face and said,
"Have you guys met before?" That's a good question. Have you guys met before?
Who? Me and Rad Dad, we've never met before. I've always wanted to meet some of those guys. The closest I think I've gotten to was when I was in Amsterdam, when I wrestled in Amsterdam, New York for the WZW company.
Yep.
When I wrestled with Vargas Shock on one of their shows. That was the closest I've got to meet a lot of those guys. Like I met the Russ at that show. I met Richie Rich at that show. I met a whole bunch of those guys. bunch of guys that were there before. Like, and it was crazy. I even met Great T, the guy who everybody thought absolutely sucked. I met him. I met friggin' I know Shockey's wanted to meet Doc Holliday for the longest time.
Yeah,
Actually, no, Shockey did meet Doc right in the ring one.
Yeah. Well, you guys were with you guys were with him last year, yeah.
And then Shockey wrestled my idol, my other idol in that company, Marcus Senafane, in a tag match. Shockey wrestled him in a tag match, and I was like, I was not jealous, but I was happy for him because I got to sit back and like learn so much. Because I'm more of a hands-on learner, but I'm also like a watch and learn type of person. So
and getting to see what they do. Way, you met Doc at WZW.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, thanks, Vargas. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't remember these things. Okay, I'm there to focus on my match and whatever goes around surroundings, whatever.
We had this conversation.
Thank you, Vargas, for helping me with that.
We had this conversation 2 days ago where we have a new format. Like once a week, I get like guests for like 10 minutes and they tell me what they're up to. And I was telling one of the guests, I think it was Comatose. It either was Chase or Comatose. And I was saying, like, if somebody asked me like what I had for dinner on like October 13th, like 1998, I could probably remember like the whole weather that was the day. Then there are some people that don't remember what they did yesterday. But I'm one of these people that I remember like literally like every like situation and instance in the field. But it's understood. But it's understandable. No question, but the opportunity is there. And I think that you guys, why not? Shockey has talked about Matt DeMorris. He's talked about how badly he would like to see Matt DeMorris and even have a match with him. And, Chase is having that match. We know Shockey's house party is a thing. I mean, who's to say that you guys meet and it happens at Shockey's house party in October. I mean, there's always that possibility too. Don't forget, because you guys did a super show, and D'Angelo LaFlame was a part of that. A lot of the NEW TF crew people were a part of that. So who's to say you guys being invited at the very least to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational that leads to some networking, and some of this could also happen at Shockey's house party.
Yeah, like why not? Who knows? Anything is possible and anything can happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on right now, anything's possible. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. No, listen, there's no question about it. But before I do anything else, and go give Torrance a follow on Instagram. Let's put his Instagram up. If people want to get in touch with him. I see some different people here. Go out there. Do me a favor. Follow Torrance on Instagram. We'd appreciate that. There's the Instagram link. I'll put YouTube up. We'll put some home stuff on the screen here in a few minutes. We'll get into most certainly NEW Riot in the Ring. Maybe I'll do the Riot in the Ring in a minute, but definitely go out there and follow Torrance. But you know what? Let's talk about the Riot in the Ring, because I have the poster right in front of me because, I shared it, and that means I'm on the page. But, you are a part of the Riot in the Ring this year. There you go. We didn't get a chance to talk about this last time you were here on Sportzwire Radio, but you've been announced in the last week. And, I mean, talk about just what this means to you now to be a part of the Riot in the Ring 2 coming up here now in 3.5 months. It's actually right around the corner. I know here it's been cold and windy. I'm sure in upstate it's a lot more colder than it is downstate, but we're not that far away from it. And talk to me about what it means to you to be a part of the Riot in the Ring 2.
I'm happy. The main thing with Riot in the Ring 2 is I'm happy I got an invite, for sure. But it's like the happiness can take it so far to the point where you realize the day that it happens, it's immediate game time. Like, this is a big event for me, and I thought Star Clash 7 was big.
Oh my God, Star Clash 7! What a show!
And then I thought All Out War was bigger than that, but nope. This is the big one. This is where like all the eyes I feel are gonna be on this tournament, on this Riot in the Ring 2, whatever it is, whatever Riot in the Ring 2 is. The eyes are gonna be on that, are gonna be focused. on this show, tournament, whatever, because you're going to have big names attached to it.
Oh my goodness! I think there's more names attached to this than anything I've seen, and even more than what the first one did. I mean, you talk about the names from the companies that are in this. It's just like it's mind-boggling.
Exactly. Like, you think about it, okay, who was announced before me? Shock, Fargus, Onyx. Like,
Yep.
those names were announced before me.
Yeah.
And then I think there's more.
Well, I want to ask you something on that. When they got invited, did you think that you were going to get invited, or what did you think?
I had no idea. I
Really?
honestly had no idea because of the fact that I was sitting there like on pins and needles. Like, if they got invited, who knows what could happen? Maybe I could have got
Yeah.
invited. Maybe they could have invited somebody else and probably forgot about me. But I'm
Nah, they wouldn't
glad.
forget about you. I mean, they're not going to
I'm
forget
just
about
glad that I got invited to the to this year. Like, I was supposed to be a part of it last year, and then I don't know what happened.
you. Well, you're here now. I mean, listen, don't worry about last year. How about this year? And it's some of the most top underground, independent, backyard wrestling talent that has to offer, and you're a part of it.
No
I mean,
kidding.
it's an accomplishment, nevertheless.
Absolutely. I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you, NEW, for inviting me. Like,
But
all
now
I
you
gotta
got to
say
go out
is
there. Now you got to go out there and show them why you were invited, and maybe almost have them regret they didn't invite you last year, because there's so many names attached in this tournament, or whatever it's called at this point. I don't think it's a tournament. It's more of just an open event, and you get a chance to show them what you have to offer, and maybe why last year you should have been invited. But also, you get a chance to wrestle in front of some of your peers that maybe they've seen you here on Sportswire, but they haven't seen you up close. We have companies here like IMF, ROEW, TF Crew, WTW. These are companies that guys there may not have seen you up close. Maybe they've seen you from here on Sportswire, which is great, and I'm very happy about that. But now you get a chance to show those companies and those wrestlers that are from there that, you know what? You're at the top. You're a 15-year veteran. You've been doing this almost as long as anybody else. And this is why you're at the forefront. This is why you represent the dog pound. And this is why you're no longer unwanted, but now wanted to be a part of one of the very best events wrestling in our circuit has to offer this year.
that's true. Like, it's like I'm tired of like being not held back, but like just being ignored. Like, I'm tired of it, and I know the brothers are tired of it too. Like, and it's like I'm glad I'm getting it. I'm glad I'm getting my credit now, where I get to travel to other promotions and wrestle in front of them. And like you said, doing this, whatever this is, Riot in the Ring 2, whatever it can be. I'm just ready to like show everybody that, hey, doing this for as long as I have, I can still throw down with the best. I can still battle with some of the top people. I mean, I was just on Star Clash.
Yep.
I was just on Star Clash and
We're
got
going
a
to get
big
to that.
victory.
Oh, we're going to get to that in a little while. I mean, we're going to definitely get into that. And you made quite a splash in your return to NEW. And you're a
Absolutely.
guy that has done a lot in this circuit. And right now you got a lot going for you. And that's why I'm excited to see you here in the Riot in the Ring too. And I'm excited to see the event as a whole. Because like I said, there are some of the very best talent in our entire circuit. The people that got invited to this, for the most part, I mean, these are the best. There might be, I don't know, the exact list in front of me, but 95% of the names on this event that are listed, they're some of the very best, and you're one of the very best as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. It's like you've seen You've seen me in different companies. Like you've seen a lot of people on this list. You've seen in multiple companies. Some of the big name companies nowadays. Like some of the big name companies now. Like for example, TF Crew, NEW, House of Misfits.
Yes.
As well as Shocky's House Party, Grim's Toy Show. We got people coming from them too. We got so many names in this tournament that you've seen in other places.
You're going to need a scorecard to know to go who's who again.
Exactly. You're going to need a scorecard to be like, okay, who's that guy? What's his? What company she's from? And damn, if that finisher was painful or not. Like, you're going to have a scorecard of who's representing what brand, who's in what crew. You know, like, are they a member of the Unwanted? Are they not a member of the Unwanted? Like. You're going to need a scorecard.
Let me, as we're here with Torrance Banks, who's one half of the House of Misfits Entertainment Roommates Champions, also returned to NEW recently. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all wrestling matters. Let me ask you this question, though. And again, I know we're still a ways to go till the Riot in the Ring, too. And maybe this is something I'll ask again in May and June. And I have no doubt we'll dedicate a few days to it. We'll honor the event. We'll honor a lot of the talents that are going to be in this. I have no doubt. But will you wind up studying or watching tape of some of the different people you haven't maybe been as familiar with? Will that be a process eventually when it comes closer?
Absolutely. Like the people I know of, like Abel Sane,
Joe Starr.
Speaking of Joe Starr, I saw his match. Yeah. I saw their match. They nearly killed each other.
I'm going to get to him later. Don't you worry.
Tyson Spade, those guys. I know those guys. Guys I
Stephen
don't know.
Havoc, Stephen Havoc.
Yep. Guys I don't know. Guys like from like IMF.
Yeah, sure.
Omen King, Ox McCoy. Yeah, I need to start watching those guys for sure. I gotta start catching up. WTW. I gotta start catching up.
Robo Stoner, right? I mean,
Robo Stoner. Yeah, those guys. I gotta start catching. I gotta start watching. I gotta start watching some of their stuff to see what they're about.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, and hats off to NEW once again for putting this event together. I have no doubt that we'll talk a lot more about this, but congratulations to Torrance being a part of this event. And obviously, he made his return to NEW for the first time in 6 years. He was successful at Star Clash 7, and the big dog is going to talk a lot about a number of different things here, I'm sure, over the next hour. But he is a part of the Riot in the Ring, too. And it sounds like he's wanted at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, and maybe he'll get his wish with Rad Dad. Who knows? Stay tuned for that. We'll take this off the screen for now. Let's, though, talk about something that's coming up here, and that's something with your Roommates Championships. And I want to put the poster up from Instagram. This is where it's going to change a little. I'm going to put your matchup on the screen with Luke Dre. Before I do that, let me put up the home Instagram page. And I want to talk about what's ahead because we got a lot to talk about in home. And obviously, Mr. Benny Blanks is somebody that we think about a lot. I remember when I think Shockey came here the first time months ago with Benny, and now we see it here. And let's talk about, for our audience, what's to come.
Man, oh man. We miss him every day. A lot of us, I bet you there's a lot of my House of Misfit brothers in the chat. They know.
Yeah.
They know about the legacy that Benny Blanks left behind. They know about the legacy that he started and that we're continuing to this, that we are continuing to this day, honoring him and his memory.
Mm-hmm.
All over the House of Misfits. Like, it's insanity how when we lost him, it's like we were all upset. Everybody was upset. Everybody was depressed. I was depressed, but he brought us all together. We all came back together. We're all still together as a family at House of Misfits. Like, And this Sunday's going to be a banger of a show in his honor. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're going to tear the house down in his honor. And I know nobody's posted the match card on the whatchamacallit, but I've been told there's some bangers this weekend.
Oh, I'm sure that there's going to be all bangers.
I've been told, yeah. I've been told that apparently the roommates titles may or may not be defended this weekend.
Ooh, well, that's where I'm going to transition next.
Yeah.
But those championships, you better be holding on to those medals tightly then, I suppose.
Yeah. Especially against the team we're facing. It's like, especially against the cleaners.
Well, we're gonna get to that. You certainly had your struggles with Luke Draven, although Falcone was victorious against Shock, so that at least gives you guys an upper hand going into what's ahead tomorrow. But this is going to be a show that's going to be with heavy hearts, a lot of emotions, and it's going to be an event where I think everybody is going to lay it all on the line, undoubtedly.
Absolutely. And I know he's watching down on all of us, and he's like, I'm expecting nothing less but everybody bringing their A game pretty much.
And I'm going to put it up on the screen here with your most recent match in home. I'm going to definitely do that here shortly. And I do want to, before anything else, I want to take this off the screen. I do want to give our friends here at home a follow on Instagram. Please do me a favor before I use the old hockey line change here and put up my other screen. Please go out there and support home on Instagram. You can get updates from all the great stuff going on here. A lot of crossover stuff, NEW, a lot of crossover stuff, Riot in the Ring, different stuff, catch up with all the latest happenings in the world of home. Please do that here on Instagram, and we are here with Torrance Banks talking about that. So let me go like this. Let me go like that. Let me put up here. We're going to go right back from the beginning because it was the opening match. So I'm going to go like this right here. And I'm going to now be able to put it up on the screen. I think I have it right here. There you go. So there we go. We've got you. You're about to come out here in action, and you're about to wrestle a man that had plenty to say about you when he was here last month, and he was trying to clean up here and tell us what's ahead for those championships tomorrow. But you're coming out to the ring. You are representing the Dog Pound, and you're a lifestyle champ. And this was figuratively and literally, though, a banger.
Absolutely. It absolutely was. Every time I wrestle Luke brings out the best in me. Like, Luke and Shock, they bring out the best in me. Like I said with on Vargas's, when I was in Vargas's comments, I said iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
That's pretty much what, when I get in the ring with Shock and Luke, that's what I feel like it is. It's iron versus iron, pretty much.
Well, that's a good way to put it, because, well, you and Luke Draven, you definitely were, let's just say, sharpening each other's irons, because you could tell that this match had a lot of intensity. This match had a lot of physicality. It's also a match where it's a preview of what's to come, and especially how Shocky and Luke effing Draven want those effing medals back.
Yeah, they want the effing medals that they haven't effing won yet. So, I mean, they haven't won them yet. They couldn't beat JTA and E-Breeze when they held them. What makes you think they're going to beat Falcone and I when we hold them? Like,
it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer. I mean, they seem to think that they were theirs at one point, but they haven't been able to win it yet. I mean,
they haven't been able to capitalize.
No,
they haven't been able to capitalize, and I understand. I understand they're my unwanted brethren for sure, but what I don't understand is the delusion of, we want the medals, but we can't win them fair. We can't win them no matter what we try to do, no matter how hard we try to fight. We just can't win we can't win the tag medals. And I'm sorry to burst your dream, but I hold on to him. Me and Falcone, we hold on to him, and we're not letting them go. I work too damn hard to win these things. Like, there's times when I've gone titleless, and these guys are walking around with the belts, and I'm clapping, and I'm happy for them. But
I remember these guys themselves, they're individual wrestlers. They're used to holding gold maybe as individuals, but
as singles guys, yeah.
Yeah, but not as tag wrestlers. And this means a lot to have them. This means a lot to you to represent Helm with those medals. And you're not going to go down very easily. And you're not, from your vantage point, want to give them up. And why should you?
Exactly. Like, I don't want to give them up because I've had to before. I've had to give them up before. I've had to defend tag team gold by myself because of Onyx leaving me. Because he wanted to be, by himself.
Well, I'm going to get to Onyx, so certainly, we'll
put
footage up in a little while. We'll do that. We'll watch this match here. But, I mean, what does Draven bring as a competitor out for you that makes it so intense between you and him?
What he brings out is something where I'm like not jealous, but kind of jealous that he's teaming with a guy who has considered me his best friend for so many years. Like Shockey and I, we were best friends for years, right? We were tag team partners. We were on and off tag partners, right? And then one day I was leaving these guys, and I'm the reason Luke Draven is doing this. Pretty much what Luke said to you about me, Tom, is 100% true. I'm the reason why Luke Draven is in wrestling right now.
And how does that make you feel, though? I mean, that's in a way you brought him in, but maybe you'll take him out tomorrow because right now he wants to take something that's very valuable to you.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not willing to do whatever, but if I have to, I have to. He's my brother, but you don't just walk in and try to be like, I want those from you. I'm taking them from you, and now expect me to fight back. Now expect me to put it all out there, put it all on the line, and expect me not to walk out with them. Like, I'm a fighter, and that's what I do. I fight.
You're the big dog. You're the big dog. I mean, that's what
from the 716 too. Like what Vargas said. 716. We're a different breed. We get gritty up here if we have to.
You guys aren't the 518. I mean, we saw that today on.
No, we're not. But 518 did kind of They did fight. They put up a fight.
Well, if you, we'll talk about it. But
we don't want to bring that up. We don't.
No, we're not bringing that up. But
the thing is with me with that, I think that situation's been squashed. I think everybody shook hands. Everybody was like,
today on Vortex, the 518, they're out. I mean, they're out literally, it seems. And so at this point, that's yesterday's news. I'll definitely get to that later on. But when we're looking at this match here, I mean, Draven's has got you down. He's definitely targeting your knees, and he's trying to wear you down.
He's doing what pretty much everybody does. Whenever I get up on somebody, they target my legs, which will keep me down, and then they just go, and then it's just like, okay, you got me down for my legs. I'm gonna need to kick this kink out for a little bit while I'm down. You might as well stop. You might as well stop on me, trying to keep me down as much as you can, because everybody knows the moment I get up, it's gonna be impossible to knock me back down again. Like, because when I'm on my feet and I got a center of gravity, it's like, if you've seen in other matches before this one, it's like I'm freaking hard to take down, like it's like I start and I just keep going and going, and it's like it's hard to knock me over. Well, and people need to understand that.
You're a big man, like, when it comes agile. I mean, we're watching this match here, and you were doing some stuff earlier in the match that you are nimble on your feet. You are deceptively quick. You are also somebody that can move very well for a big man. And
Yeah,
Luke is going to have some problems with that.
exactly. Luke and Shock. I mean, think about it. Yeah, Shock's a big guy. Shock's very fast. Like
Yeah.
Shock is a fast dude. Where it's like, okay, the problem is Shock's quick. They're both two very fast guys. They have speed on me. But then you see my partner, and he moves just as quick as they do. So,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, and
and,
Falcone showed that in his match
and
with
Falcone can also fly with the best of them as well. So that's where I think Shock and where the group cancels out, because Shocky's one of the best high flyers, so it's Falcone, right?
Yeah.
So that cancels those two out. So the only one that's basically, whatchamacallit, is me and Luke, and you see Luke got me a full flip over into the calf crusher, and it's like that's painful. That's
Well, let me
painful,
ask
but
you.
Luke
You know what? You said something interesting. I want to go back to something because let's talk about Falcone for a minute. I didn't talk about him much in the last interview, but you're here now. And what makes you and Falcone such a good team together? What do you and him do
well,
together in ring?
me and him, so me and him have wrestled each other
Yep.
multiple times on multiple occasions, no matter what team it is. It could be me and Shock. When Shock and I were a team, we faced Falcone and his partner. When it was me and Luke, me and Onyx, same thing. Like every tag team I'm in, I've had to face Falcone and his partner at least once or twice.
So
At a time.
So what that does is that because you guys know each other so well, that makes you a good team in the sense that you know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I get the Cleaners have tagged with each other for many of years.
Oh, I mean,
I get that.
We talked about their relationship, and obviously, there's your tag partner there doing doing some business there for you.
Shocky was talking a lot of crap and aggravated and got him very angry. And got Falcone very angry. You don't like angry.
Well, and you know what? Maybe from his vantage point, I wouldn't blame him, but unfortunately, you're down and out, and Draven goes off the top rope there, and boy, did
that drop.
Did that look like that hurt?
Yeah, it did. It did. It took a little wind out of me for sure. And then Luke gets me up and over into his version of the I'm prettier.
Yep.
And then pin 1, 2, and 3.
Well, that was very difficult.
Down 0-1. Yeah.
But let me ask you though. Let's go back to the tape here for a minute. I want to go back to this, and I want to ask you something because this is where the match sort of gets. Let's put it back right about.
What's we out of hand?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it. Let's go right here. All right, so let's go right here because I want to ask you about Falcone coming in because in a way that hurt you in the match, even though Falcone evens the odds. But that, for whatever reason, gives Draven an opportunity to come in there off the top rope, his finisher 1, 2, 3. But so we'll talk about that in a minute. We're gonna get to the finish there, but we are watching, just so the audience knows, on the House of Misfits Entertainment YouTube page. We're watching the most recent episode tomorrow on the home YouTube page. It will be a show for the one and only Benny Blanks. We're certainly praying for the family and all the talent out there that is certainly impacted by his loss. And you definitely want to support home. Please support them on Instagram and YouTube for more details. You can watch the show tomorrow as well. Definitely check out home shows. They're from our home state here in New York. Let's support those who support us. My name is the Reverend Timbers. Okay, so right now you're in control. This is where I want to talk about. You're in control. You're back on your feet. And
got him with the Rainmaker going right into the sidewinder. My old sidewinder suplex. Yeah. And then I don't know what happened. Like I don't know where he went. It looks like he went to.
But You
The
see how
side where
Shocky's
Shockey is.
mouthing off. Shocky's mouthing off with the ref, takes the ref out.
Pulls
Okay.
the referee out of the
You
ring.
go
Like,
out. Now you go out. Ref and Shockey are going back and forth. We see the home fans getting restless. And then wait a minute. Falcone comes in, knocks out Shock. Referee's distracted. And this seems to, for whatever reason, gives Draven a bit of a burst here. And what's your thoughts
yeah,
on
that's
going
the.
through here?
I don't, man. That's something. Okay, the thing is this with the whole Falcone attacking Shock thing. I didn't know what was going on. I was focused on my match. Like I was focused on Draven because Draven somehow always gives me problems in the ring wise. Like, well, speed wise gives me problems, but like
Which we
I
spoke
was
about
focused on him trying to slow him down, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, bam, hits me with the prettier 1, 2, 3, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? All of a sudden, I see Shock. The moment coffin drop hits, I see Shock on the ground. And I'm like, who hit him? And then Luke wins. And we're down 0-1.
But that interference backfired. It backfired on you guys.
Backfired because Luke took advantage.
Yeah, he took advantage. And now hopefully for you guys tomorrow, that won't be an issue. You guys will be together.
Yep.
Did you say anything to Falcone afterwards? What was there?
I told him that was my bad. That was my mistake. I told him I was sorry. But then I also looked at him and I'm like, well, we still have one more match. We still have one more, and it's you versus Shockey. And we basically need to win. We just need a W. That's
Falcone did come up and get the W. I'll put that up. We'll fast forward the show in a minute. But let me ask you, though, this question, because I do want to talk about Onyx for a minute, because Onyx is a man you referenced in the beginning of the show. And he is turned more than personal with Mickey Vargas. Mickey had a lot to say last week on Sportswire about it. And I think when these guys square off, all bets are off. The gloves are going to be off. It's going to turn into now the stipulation that Onyx picked. This is going to be a death match. I mean, what do you think
my thing is
what's going to happen here? I mean, if you know Onyx as good as anybody, you tagged with him, you have history with him. Yes, you know Vargas, but what do you think is going to happen here for the world title here tomorrow? The head of the household.
I think for the head of the household championship, those two, I'm just going to say this. I don't think the ring is going to be able to keep them away from each other.
And did Onyx go too far in your vantage point? Did he go too far?
He went into another man's house, Tom.
That's why I'm asking.
Another grown man's home. You attacked him in his own house. Then you almost insult a man's dog. The
dog was a bit much for me. The dog was a bit much.
Leave the dog out of it. What did the dog do to you? But still,
he wanted to prove a point. He wanted to make a statement and prove a point.
What? I kick dogs?
I kick puppies? We on Sportswire do not condone any animal brutality. I just want to put that out there. Or any animal cruelty. But I guess he wanted to prove a point, and that's, I suppose, what Onyx did. And Mickey's, just having a nice evening. He's just relaxing, and then
he's just probably watching
the door.
He was probably watching wrestling tapes, or something, and then all of a sudden, boom! Here comes Onyx in a Buffalo Bills shirt. What?
Maybe that's why the Bills lost. Sadly, I mean,
because of Onyx, probably. Throws him right into the banister there. Kicks the freaking dog cage like a jackass.
That wasn't right to do that to the dog cage. That was not called for.
Not at all.
Here, look at this. Just
Sister Abigail against the wall.
Oh my God. Kids, don't try this at home. Please don't try this at home.
Don't. But you didn't have to go. First off, you didn't have to go into the grown man's house. You didn't have to go into a grown man's house and beat his ass in his own house. You didn't have to do that.
I guess he wanted to prove a point. I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was definitely something.
Point definitely proven that
Things have been getting
Onyx
personal.
is a low down. That Onyx is a low down snake, willing to do whatever he needs to do to get into Vargas's mind ahead of this match.
Things are getting personal late the last few months. Look at what Joe Starr and Tyson Spade have put each other through. Look at what now Onyx has done to Mickey Vargas. I mean, this is just, it's personal. It's not even about championships anymore. I'm just seeing.
It's what it is, Tom. What it is
what?
it's basically, okay, Onyx cashed in on Vargas. Onyx has what Vargas wants.
Yes.
Vargas wants championship. No, Vargas wants Onyx one-on-one so he can whoop that ass to get championship. Onyx runs away.
Understood.
Why does Onyx run away? Because Onyx realizes you backed a monster in a corner. Look what he's become. Think about it.
Yep.
Onyx takes the championship from Vargas. Vargas becomes the biggest name in the House of Misfits. Main event Mickey Vargas is a thing. And
Vargas
I have a feeling.
Texas. Yep.
I have a feeling when these two meet in their match, I have a feeling we gonna have a new champion, and the reign of Onyx is gonna be done.
Well, Mickey talked about that. Listen, Mickey, and for those that would be interested, which I think when you watch this show tomorrow, you're going to really be interested. Mickey is back on Sportswire in 3 weeks. He's here in 3 weeks. He's going to talk about it.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to be here in 3 weeks, and he's going to talk about this. And obviously, Onyx for now is holding the championship, but I don't know.
When he wins, maybe when Vargas wins it, he'll probably bring the championship on Sportswire.
Well, he's got to win it first because Onyx, what he did to Vargas, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Don't ask me. I mean, but I don't know. But I do want to go back and talk about Falcone for a few minutes because I want to get to the match here. I want to get your perspective before I get to NEW and talk about some other stuff here. But now we fast forward a little bit and your tag team partners in action and talk to me about what's going through your mind here, champ.
Going through my mind is we need to win. Like if we want to keep up the momentum before Shock and Luke, start gaining more and more momentum. I feel like if Falcone beats Shocky here, we'll be even, perfectly even, and be able to, do what we need to do to beat these guys in the tag match when the tag match happens. So,
did you say anything to your partner right before the match? Anything?
I told him to breathe, and I also told him, like, dude, you're Falcone.
And how about that kick there from Shocky? You did say Shocky's one of the best, and that kick, that was just, I mean, boy, he could be in the Olympics with that kick.
Yeah, Mr. wanted to show off here. a freaking rolling headlock into a super kick. Like, not a lot of people do that.
No, that's why Shocky's, like you said, one of the best on.
It's insane. It's insane with Shock. It's like Shock's been doing this just as long as I have, and he adapts.
But that's what any good wrestler does. Any good wrestler, anybody that's good at anything, you adapt. I always remember as a kid, my dad always said this line, you've got to adapt to your surroundings. And it didn't make sense to me then, but now it makes sense. And Shock, as a wrestler, he's been able to do that. And that's why he is as good as he is. And he's finding out firsthand, though, that Falcone can match him. And your tag team partner is doing a pretty good job so far.
Absolutely. He's just got to, stay on Shock. Shock is one of the absolute best,
for sure,
in this kind of environment. Like, whether it's tag team or singles, he can keep up with anybody.
Yep.
And it's like I've wrestled him so many times, and it's like every single time I've wrestled Shock's brought the best out in me, 100%. So,
For sure. What
and
do you
it's
guys
like,
take? So, what do you guys take away from last week in terms of going into tomorrow? What do you guys take away?
well, we take away that the fact of the referee's gonna have to keep his eyes open at all times because Shock was talking a whole lot of shit about me during our match. Well,
Yep.
during my match with Falcone to get the ref distracted. And then I just got to make sure that Falcone doesn't swing on Shock while we're not in the ring with Shock. Like, just
Look at you.
focus
Look at
on
this
who's on the
dude.
ring at one.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude! What tag partner just did? I don't know if I've seen that before in a match.
oh, I know it's crazy. It's insane how he does that, and
I
how his
mean,
opponent's able to walk after that too. It's even more insane.
well, that's why your partner is right there with Shock, and I mean, my goodness, I mean, seriously, you have to follow House of Misfits Entertainment Backyard Wrestling because tomorrow can't come soon enough because you're going to see some of the very best matches, literally, and that's the definition of a banger. And check them out on Instagram. I'll put the YouTube link up here in a minute. We're watching Falcone versus King Shock, and we are here with Torrance Banks, who is the tag team partner of Falcone. He is one half of the Home Roommates Champions. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. We're also here tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Time with Yoshi Matsuda. So stay tuned for that. And also Monday night, we're here with the Tonight Show of Sportswire Radio. Basically, we're giving a guest 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, talk about what they're up to. Any guest is welcomed. And they'll tell us what is going on. But right now, we're watching Falcone and Shock. And boy, Shock right now he's in shock right now from the amount of punishment he's taking from Falcone.
Absolutely, like this match is just one of those old school type of like old school. You know what I mean? Like old school type of fights.
Yep,
Where it's
absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
it's one of those where it's like, yeah, where like the partners don't need to get involved, even though there's opportunities where they can, but they don't need to. Just like let them fight it out. Just let them fight. And yeah, no interference, no nothing needed.
Well,
See
these
Shockey
guys,
fighting
they're
back.
killing each other. Look at this. Look at what these guys are putting each other through. Maybe you have to ask yourselves, what do they have left for tomorrow? What do these guys have left in what we'll see tomorrow? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. What do you think these guys will have left?
I know if I know Shock and I know Luke, they're gonna have a lot in the tank ready, and they're gonna come in, and I know they're gonna come in ready for a fight tomorrow.
Wouldn't
And I
expect
know
anything less.
no, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't because it's the Cleaners and how their reputation is as a tag team. It's like with those two, expect something like this. What Shock's doing, the shot to the chest PK combination, expect that.
Yep.
And expect just an all-out
How about
fight.
the smart move though, Falcone? That match is over, but he finds a way, gets his hand on the ropes. Match continues.
Absolutely. Veteran. That's a veteran move.
Veteran move.
Like
absolutely.
that is something they don't teach.
No.
That is something you have to learn on your own.
That's instinct.
If there's a rope,
smarts. Yep.
Exactly. If there's a rope by you and you know it's there, reach out for it. Pretty much. Shockey trying to go for a suplex. Falcone with a DDT.
That was almost an emergency move that keeps the match going. And Shockey's, he's in shock right now, and I can't blame him.
Absolutely, it's one of those. Let me get a second to breathe type move where it's like, oh, what is he going for? Oh, Destroyer.
Canadian Destroyer, and now he's almost
Jay Driller.
Yeah, I mean, he's out. He's out.
1, 2, 3.
Big. I mean, how about this? Let's show this again for the audience and just what Falcone
1-1
table. I mean, just unbelievable work here. And just when Shockey thinks that he's got him right where he wants him. What
Yep,
Falcone's
with
about to
the
do, I mean,
got
this
him
is just
with the arms across the chest with the arm wrench. It's like when he does that, it's like he's wanting to hit you like full chest.
you
And
could
it's
see
like,
it. I mean, those are strikes. Those are just again brutal
oh,
work from
right
Shock.
with
And
the
Shock thinks he's
PK.
got him. Shock thinks
Shot
he's
goes in the
got him.
cover.
But
You
this
think
is
it's
where the
three, but you
now
see,
notice here that this is where the match turns.
yep. Notice you
And
see
Shockey
his
turns his
arm
head
the moment ref got to one, his arm was already reaching for the rope as it is. And then yeah, Shockey took way too long on his offense, and it's like
unlike a veteran in Shockey, unlike a veteran. Gives an
exactly
opportunity here for Falcone to make a comeback, and Falcone blocks the suplex, reverses it
into a DDT.
into a DDT, an emergency DDT, gets him a chance to get back up. He gets back up on his feet. Shockey's understandably so clenching his neck and definitely painful. And then this is where the match turns into where it's going to go in the favor of your tag team partner. And what a destroyer here. Look at
Absolutely.
this. And then he turns it into where the match ends. Just
Right into a got him up.
and
Bam,
there's
right into a J drone.
one,
Yep.
two,
1, 2, and 3.
three. Ring the bell. And what a big win for you guys. What a
Absolutely.
clutch win from your tag team partner to give you guys now the momentum into Sunday, because this is what people are going to remember most. Falcone defeats Shock. You guys got the momentum. You guys are the incumbents. And after what Falcone did to Shock, clean in that ring, the center of it, 1, 2, 3. You
Yep.
guys look like you guys are going to be the ones continuing your reign as the home roommates champions.
Absolutely. We want to continue this reign. This reign has been a good reign so far. And I feel like we just know the cleaners are going to bring it all. The cleaners are going to bring it. So we're just going to have to, we're going to have to bring it as well. Simple
I
as that.
have
That's
no
what we
doubt
know.
we're going to be bringing it, and you definitely better be bringing yourself to the home YouTube page. You can do that right here. Very simple. I provided the link for you. Check them out. They're 75 subscribers away from 500. When they get to 500, I'm going to honor home. So let's get them home so we can let them have a home-like celebration here on Sportswire Radio. So do me a favor, hit the sub button, follow the gang here, and I am excited for tomorrow's show. I have no doubt the cleaners and the roommates are going to be there. Onyx and Vargas. I mean, there's just a lot, and you need to go to support home. Trust me, it's worth it. Let me catch up on some comments. Mickey Vargas, he'll be okay. He'll definitely be okay.
He'll be fine, Zilla. I talked to him. He's good.
I want to say hello to my buddy Barry Gutman, who hasn't come around, another fellow New Yorker from Brooklyn. What's up, everyone? Barry? Hope you feel better, Barry. Barry's on YouTube. Mr. Wakefield, though, says he's got some ideas for the home guy. So I told you, he's basically confirming you guys are going to be there.
All right, Chase. But Chase, what the idea I was saying before, I think that's a better idea.
Well, you know what? I'm going to remind him.
My stare down with Rad Dad needs to happen. Either stare down, match, or something with me and Rad Dad needs to happen there. So you guys can witness history. Two men passionate about this sport going one-on-one needs to happen, damn it.
Well, I'm going to definitely talk to Rad when he's here next month about this. And like I said, I'm going to definitely bring it up for sure. There's no question we're going to do that. Who else we had here in the chat? We had here Vargas said, I could imagine how people are trying. I don't even remember. This is maybe early in the show. Skulls wanted to say hello. Thank you. Chase said if he could only book 20 matches night one, well, that's why he said he's having a night two.
That's all there's night two for.
You guys might be night one. I don't know. I mean, So we'll have to
I'm
see.
a night one guy, baby.
You're right. He's not wanted. Fifth wheel.
Shut up, Pootie. You
Well, there
jerk.
you go. Jake
Anyway,
Dvorak said hello. Jake certainly said
what's going
hello.
on, Jake?
Joe
How we doing?
Starr said hello of all people. I'm not
Joe
sure why.
Star in the house.
What is Joe Starr here for? I wonder why Joe Starr is here. But
I don't know.
Austin James, who's been in GTS, who spoke about Rad on Monday's show, wanted to say hello. Thank you for that. I think Austin shared one of my posts recently, so I appreciate you, Austin. Austin's one of our favorites. Zilla had to be the first comment, so we say hello to Zilla.
Tom.
Yeah, we got disconnected. Technology is a beautiful thing. There we go. But
I'm
follow.
here.
Yeah, I see you. Yeah, sorry about that. Home is on YouTube. Check them out. Yep, and Comatose is here, who wanted to say, I hope everybody's doing well. Yes,
Comatose, how we doing?
we are doing well. And let me give Comatose a little plug before I get to the last topic here, which is NEW, because Comatose lost his YouTube channel. I never heard this before. He had 600 plus
No.
subscribers, and yeah,
No.
he got struck
Comatose,
down.
what happened?
He got
If you're
struck down.
here,
Yeah.
if you're here in the chat, we need an explanation as to what happened to your channel, because that's bull. I call bull crap for what happened.
Well, Joe said I was out of the building. Well, I'm not out of the building now, but yeah, he got struck down for harassment. Really, for like he doesn't know what happened. He appealed, and they won't give him a reason. And,
Harassment.
yeah, I don't know. He lost his channel. But in the meantime, if you're here, do me a favor. Give him a sub. Poor guy had 600 plus subs, 10 years worth of documentation. But I hope that he gets it back. But I'll take this off the screen. Thank you, Comatose. And let's talk about NEW. So now let's talk about NEW now. So you were very victorious at Star Clash 7. And so what's next for you in NEW? You were victorious, and we have a season finale coming up here in less than 2 weeks from now. We know you're in Riot in the Ring too, but what is next for Torrance Banks in NEW?
I don't know. I mean, I see one of the guys I wrestled against at Star Clash 7 walk out with some tag titles.
I'm going to put that up. I'm going to
What?
put that up on the screen.
With some tags? He walked out with some tag titles? I may have to, I may have to find a partner. Maybe one of my brothers. We go to NEW, we get those tag titles away from them.
But how does that make you feel, though, that a man that you were just in the room, and last month you talked a lot about Hiroshima. You talked about Shima. You talked a lot about him. And this was a guy that you saw a lot in. You had a lot of positive things to say about him. The potential was there, and all of a sudden he wins those championships. But you were in a match recently where you were the guy that got the W.
And the pinfall on Shima as well.
Yeah. You have a win.
Also. So.
You have a victory over Shima. You came back and were victorious at Star Clash 7. And how does that make you feel? How does it all make you feel?
I feel good. The victory, I feel good.
You feel like you should have been in that spot, that Torrance Banks should have got that shot for those tag team championships? I mean, you were the guy that defeated Hiroshima, pinned him. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
I feel like I should have, but remember, it's not just about me. NEW is not just about me. It's also about.
All eyes on me. It's all eyes on you, though.
Exactly, but when it comes to like championships like those, it's not just about me, Tom. We know this. It's not about me. It's about me and my brothers. It's about me and the guys. And if I feel like if one of them wants to team with me to go after the tag team championships, then that's fine too. Like, look at this. Who was Joe Star teaming with? Who was Joe Star teaming with at this point?
Gabe Sayers.
Gabe Sayers. I keep telling him, you keep openly trusting these people, and it's like, what's gonna happen at the end? What's gonna happen at the end of the day?
And you know
But at
what?
least
It's funny you talked about that because Joe Starr, he's got Power Surge now, who's only the most imposing figure in underground wrestling history and was the most dominant Northeast champion in history. And maybe the clock is striking midnight on Joe Starr. What's your thoughts on that?
it's got to be clocking midnight. It's got to be. I mean, you're wrestling Power Surge. You said Power Surge?
Power Surge is the number one contender for the Northeast title.
Oh boy. Oh
I mean,
boy.
and we saw what
Um,
happened with Joe Starr and Tyson Spade here on Sportswire. These two men went to jail over each other. And I mean, Joe Starr had to fight literally to the death to retain that Northeast championship. But now he's got to deal with the surge. He's got to deal with maybe the greatest champion in history. And this is the man in charge in NEW. This is the man that's here to restore order. This is Mr. Star Clash. Just like I said, this is the most imposing figure in underground, backyard, and independent wrestling history. And Joe Starr, I love Joe Starr. He's one of my favorites on here. You've become one of my favorites, but he is one of my
same.
favorites. And I don't know,
He's one of
he
mine
may not
too.
make it.
My thing is this: if he beats Joe, not if. I'm going to say this: when he beats
Yeah.
Joe Starr,
Right.
right? When Joe Starr beats Power Surge, that's going to mean Joe Starr is going to be probably the new face of NEW. If you think about it, because if we look at it, okay, Power Surge was in front of the company for years. Power Surge was like you said, the most imposing force in NEW.
Correct.
He was that guy that was like that was like real one of the most powerful guys in their company.
Yeah.
And I'm talking strength, like straight strength. So imagine if Joe Starr beats Power Surge. That sends shockwaves throughout the entire rest of the
But do
underground
you think
circuit,
Joe
saying
Starr
like,
though has got that in him? I mean, you say when he does it, but this is a man that he seems to be gullible and naive. Look at what Tyson Spade did to him. I mean, Gabe Sayers tried to smarten him up. I mean, Jake Dvorak was certainly toying with him today. I mean, can Joe Starr really retain the Northeast Championship? You think he could really do it? Because this man's went through so much these last few months. I mean, just I don't know what he's got left in him.
hey man, the saying goes, never say never, but Joe Starr. But the thing is, Joe Starr's got his head on one too many swivels. Like if you really look at it, like Joe Starr's
Yeah.
head is every which way except forward. Because he had to watch his back for like you said for Tyson Spade, and he had to watch his back for was getting toyed with in this match with Dvorak, you said, and then
Ray Silver, yeah.
also, yeah, and now he's got to worry about Power Surge at the season. You said at season finale,
Yeah.
Jeez,
Season finales in 2
yeah.
weeks. So basically,
Clock may strike midnight on you, Cinderella.
yeah, something tells
Like, I
me
think
Joe Starr, and I love Joe. Joe is, like I said, you've become a favorite. Joe has been one of my favorites. He comes here every month. I've had him on, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times already. He's the Puerto Rican Dusty Rhodes. I say it all the time. He's the Puerto Rican dream. I mean, he was fighting for his country. I'm putting him right up there with the man that came on this platform, who's considered to be one of the greatest wrestlers ever from Puerto Rico and Savio Vega. I mean, Joe Starr might be right there, but I mean, right now he's got the surge, and well, the surge is going to go through his body, and it might just surge back to where Surge retains a championship that he's done a lot with in his career. And I don't know what to say on poor Joe. I think Joe's, he's got another thing coming.
But there's always that chance though. There's always that chance that Joe Starr may pull the upset. But
maybe so.
Joe Starr.
Maybe so. But I want to come back to Shima for a minute, because Shima wins gold, and the Unwanted really wanted those tag team championships with Star Clash 7, and we saw what happened today with Rob O'Malley and Stephen Havoc, and let's just say we won't be seeing them anytime soon with tag team opportunities. if you saw the footage today in NEW's Vortex episode.
Right.
But you hold a victory over Hiroshima. Shouldn't that make you, at least in part, to be the number one contender to that NEW Tag Team Championship? And imagine this scenario, Torrance Banks. If all goes well tomorrow and you retain those roommates medals alongside Falcone, and then maybe you get an opportunity at season finale 6, and you go out there and maybe win those tag team championships from Kuma and Shima because, well, they're incumbents with a cup of coffee and this is the time to beat them and you've got the experience. And could you imagine you being a tag team champion for two of the biggest companies right now on the underground? I mean, what would that mean for you?
It would mean a lot. It would mean wonders. It would mean that two of the biggest companies trust me and whoever I'm teaming with to be tag team champions. Like, I mean, you're absolutely right. I have a win over Shima. I should be, should at least be number one contenders to the NEW tag team titles. Like, you're absolutely right. I should be number one contenders, but who knows what could happen?
But
anything can happen, pretty much.
But you're not, let's just say, maybe saying I should have got that shot today and I'd be one half of those tag team champions, or what?
I should have gotten that shot today. You're absolutely right. Hiroshima.
I mean, Joe Starr and Gabe Sayers. What's the history of Joe Starr and Gabe Sayers to get a shot here at this? I mean, okay, Shima.
I don't know.
To some extent, Jake and Rhea. Okay, all right, they have natural history.
Yeah, Jake and Rhea, DHC. Those two. We know those two were starting to become a tag team, and now they're tag team champions.
But to me, it's like Joe Starr. If I were to say, and Gabe Sayers still hasn't commented on you being along with the rest of the unwanted in the TF crew. Gabe Sayers and Joe Starr took an opportunity for Torrance Banks, and Torrance Banks, I could have been talking to you today, maybe with those tag team championships. You could have had those medals and the tag titles.
Could have, yeah. I could have held both. I could have helped elevated both belts, but instead we see Gabe Sayers and Joe Starr with DHC and Shima and Kuma.
Gabe Sayers and Joe Starr getting an opportunity that Torrance Banks and Shockey, or Torrance Banks and Mickey Vargas, or
Mickey Vargas and Shock.
Or how about Falcone and Torrance Banks even?
Yeah, probably. But like I said, though, instead of Joe Starr teaming with Gabe Sayers, shouldn't Joe Starr be, I don't know, worrying about Power Surge?
That's a great point.
Let's be real.
I agree. Listen, I agree with you because I think Power Surge is going to be looking to reclaim a championship that he basically made into what it is today. And he is one of the greatest champions of all time. But, Torrance, I know that you want those tag team championships. And I don't know if you blame Joe Starr for them or not. I'm not sure what you see in the future of that. But if you had any advice for Joe Starr or anything, would you want to tell Joe a word or two or anything specifically for Joe? Because he's been dealing with a lot.
My advice for Joe Starr is you need to relax. Take the time out, breathe a little bit, and understand that in this world, you can't really trust your friends. The people that you call friends, they see you with that championship, and you know the saying. With the championship, there's an easy target on my back.
But the transition from being the hunter to the hunted, we've been saying this for months with Joe. Joe is, I think, the example of that.
Because it's 100% true. And Joe Starr is like that. Onyx is like that with Vargas. Onyx has now become the hunted.
And look at what happened with the 518. They cracked. They cracked under the pressure. I mean, the 716 nearly ended their careers, and now, well, it seems like we're not
They
seeing
took them
them
to the
anytime
limit.
soon.
They took a 716, took the 518 to the limit, and look what happened. They're not even the champions anymore.
And they're not. We don't even know what their future is in NEW. I mean, so it seems to me like really the 716 got exactly what they wanted without holding the belts, and maybe that could potentially lead to you getting a crack at that. But Torrance, I have somebody here that wants to say something to you. Now, I know it's your moment tonight, but this person has been listening to the show and wanted to come in and say hello and introduce themselves to you. It's definitely somebody you'll know, so it's not like a gotcha moment. Would you like me to bring this person on? I don't have to, because I know
Who is it? Who is this? Who is this person?
I don't know who it is, but I can bring them on the screen, and you can maybe say hello to them and maybe give them some advice.
Sure, go ahead.
Wait a minute. That's the Northeast champion. I thought this was a fan wanted to get advice. Joe Star, last time you were here on Sportswire, you do realize that the last time you were here, you had to go to jail. So let's hope that. I mean, I think you and Torrance are cool, right? You guys are good.
No, we good. We good. We don't have to make any problems.
We're good.
So what brings you here though in this episode? I mean, I know you'll be back. I think either next week or the following week. I forget at this point, but you'll be back. But what brings you here?
Just a little interesting, honestly. Like a little bits of chitter and chattering, and I think I have one eye. Well, I can't say one eye, but I got two eyes on somebody.
You have two eyes. That's good. I'm happy you have two eyes.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I got two eyes on a little somebody that I kind of want to know more about.
Well, you got Power Surge coming up. You better know him.
No. That's not the person I'm talking about. But I know Power Surge is no joke to take with, so I need to be more with him. But there's a little other person that's in this chat right now.
Well, Joe.
Well, it's good to see you too, Joe Star. It's good to see you too, old friend. How are you? Are you recovering well from the death match that you and Tyson Spade literally almost killed each other in?
Oh yeah, no, you already know my medication already.
And I also see congratulations on your title retaining.
No, thank you.
Congratulations on that.
One more thing, actually, I had a phone call with somebody that you know well. He told me to say hello to both of y'all. That was Shima. Most more hi to you, but you know how it goes.
Yep.
He's celebrating already, so
what did he call you for? To rub in my face? Oh, I got a tag title. I got a tag title too. Congratulations.
You know how it goes, but he's celebrating right now. He just wanted to say that he knew I was gonna be coming on here, but I also wanted to say thank you for the advice. I know somewhere I'm not gonna be lost in the shuffle anytime soon, but I always need to keep my head on the swivel, which you are right about that. And next time I'm really going against Power Surge in the season finale, so I know for sure I gotta keep my head right on where he goes.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, Joe,
there's three other people that's pretty much on my list, which you are one of them, Torrance.
Whoa. Torrance Banks is on your list?
He is on my list. And it's not a bad one.
Interesting.
It's not a bad one. I'm just putting it out there, a little teaser.
I mean, we do roll around with the same crew, so that'll if that match happens, I know that it'll be a fun time. So
hey, I did go over there back on New York one time.
You did. You were at Shocky's
says I could go
party.
Back again.
That's Shocky's house party. Absolutely.
You were there. Hey. You were there at Shocky's house party.
And like they said at Shocky's house party, you guys are welcomed anytime you guys want to come out there. You guys are welcomed anytime. Because that window,
schedules.
Because that bridge is that bridge between House of Misfits and Eddie W is wide the hell open, so you never know who could appear on who's programming.
It seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean,
sure.
I would think so. We would like to see some more of that, but well, Joe, you got your work cut out for you, though. I mean, you certainly got your work cut out for you here coming up.
Yeah, pretty much. And one thing, Torrance, I know you say I need to take time off, but I know for sure I cannot have a time off. You know why? Because being a champion, you can't really have time off when you have to go one place to another place. You have to show up. Either you're 100% or not, which I am not stopping anytime soon. I thank you for believing in me, saying that I'm still going to have this championship in a way. And, it's not no discredit to Power Surge. I know he's the longest reigning Northeast champion.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I still have a fighting chance.
Yeah, listen,
absolutely.
You're the champion. You're the incumbent. You still have a chance for sure. I mean, you've defied the odds. I mean, some would say after what Spade did to you, and I mean, Gabe did warn you about this months ago. I mean, so you have a shot. I think we're going to talk to you. I think you are here next week, right? I think you are here next week. So we'll definitely talk about this. I mean,
we'll talk more about it, Tom.
Anything else you want to say before I let Mr. Banks get a few more words in? I mean, anything else you want to say to Mr. Banks or anybody else out there and such?
So to everybody out there, go ahead, follow Home, follow NEW, also follow Tom and myself, of course, because, without anybody, we're not going to be here. And Torrance, maybe me and you should settle a date. It could be for a title or not. Maybe not. We don't know. But,
hey, there is a show.
One-on-one.
Hey, Joe, there is a show. Possibly. Remember, I did just get invited to your neck of the woods in June.
Oh.
So I'm going to see you there.
And Riot in the Ring, too. Riot in the Ring.
Hey, man.
Are you talking about Riot?
Riot in the Ring, too. Yes, sir.
It could be you versus me at Riot. We don't know yet. Nothing's been set in stone yet, but hey, I'm throwing feelers out there like, yo, if it's just me versus Joestar, it's gonna be a party. We all know this. It's gonna be a battle.
And it was just announced just now. They just announced more names to the Riot in the Ring. There was more names. I'll put the poster up, actually. Speaking of that, let me get your guys.
Who got
I'm going to put
announced?
them up. I actually just got the announcement, so let me put it up onto the NEW Instagram.
More than 40 wrestlers.
It's unbelievable.
More than 40.
40 names, and just announced it was this guy. Wait a minute. The PWF champion, Justin Parsley, is a part of it. And the former ROW champion, Big Man Cam, who hasn't been seen in, I think, over 4 months since he lost the title, apparently is in the Riot in the Ring. And we've got Felix Jones, who just wrestled CJ Black in the IMF King of Palo show, and then in 2 weeks from now is wrestling Omen Black for the IMF World Championship. And then it was also announced the ROW champion, Jason Storm of Natural Selection, one of Zilla's favorites, is here. Jason Storm, the man who's unbelievable, and Jacob Collins. I mean, boy, the irony: Jacob Collins and Jason Storm are mortal enemies, but the former ROW champion has joined the Riot. So, wow, fellas, as we're on the air, we just got 5 of the biggest names outside of Home and NEW and TF Crew to be in the Riot in the Ring.
It's gonna be crazy, honestly. Like the first time that we did the Riot in the Ring, it was like amazing. But this time, for sure,
a puppet master, Jason Storm, who, I mean, he has been one of the most dominant champions in ROW history, and now he's in the Riot in the Ring, and Big Man Cam, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. And we got a chance to react to it live on Sportswire. There you go.
But
this show is going to be insane.
Oh,
like
it's gonna be better than the last one. Honestly, I could already feel it. With all
I
these
compare this to
names.
like if you're a basketball fan, the NCAA tournament. There's so many wrestlers in this. It's almost going to be, instead of March Madness, it'll be June Madness because the Riot in the Ring's in June, not March.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a madness.
It's gonna be like
that Riot.
It's gonna be like the NCAA. If you're a hockey fan and you know the Stanley Cup's in like June, basically gonna be the Stanley Cup of underground wrestling, and it's gonna
Pretty
be
much
completely
physicality,
insane.
banger after banger. Yep, it's gonna be banger.
Absolutely.
We've been putting absolute bangers after all with the All Out War, Star Clash,
Yep.
Vortex House Party.
Shaki's house party
was a nice one. That was a good.
Well, you felt the bang literally though. You felt the
bang. Pretty much, honestly.
Yeah, you wrestled. Now Kuma knows the feeling of what you were feeling when you wrestled Grimes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, it's been a tough last few months for you.
And but that's how you have to be working on champion. Honestly, that's how you get better. You go through a lot.
He's working a champion schedule, Tom.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, I really hope. I know next week I think next week we're talking with you, and I really hope, Joe, that this all works out. You've certainly got a chance to speak to Mr. Banks, and I'm sure that we'll see what happens in the future. And you go enjoy that doobie of yours, and smoke like there's no tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you here next week.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. And Torrance,
probably
more in the future, man.
Okay, well, that's the Northeast champion, the star of the show, the Puerto Rican Dream, Joe Starr, who I guess wanted to introduce himself to you and talk about what's ahead. And boy, that'll certainly get people talking. And what do you make of that?
Very interesting. The fact that I've got
come on to you. At least he didn't want to go and go to your house and fight you like he did Tyson Spade. At least that was the good news.
Thank goodness. I got thank goodness, because I got freaking I got Funko Pops in my room that I don't want stolen. So no thank you on that one. But yeah, the fact that the Northeastern champion wanted to introduce himself to me after I pick up a win on Hiroshima at Star Clash is a very big deal.
Absolutely.
Because now he knows I'm here. Now he knows that I'm on his list of people he wants to wrestle this year. So June looks like it could get very, very interesting, Tom.
Well, you know what? I agree with you, but I still will say it before I get a few more things out of you, Torrance Banks, that Joe Starr first has to make it to June because he's got Power Surge. He can say all he wants about you being on that list, but he's still got Power Surge to worry about. He's still got.
That's the thing that I pray that he survives, and I pray that he beats Power Surge, because maybe when he beats Power Surge, maybe the big dog and the Puerto Rican Star can possibly meet one-on-one for the championship.
Well, you're wanted regardless, and we'll have to see whether it's going to involve that NEW Northeast Championship, which is held by Joe Starr. But for now, we'll have to find out. You will see him in Power Surge at season finale, which is coming up here in 2 weeks. Before I get to closing thoughts, do you have any final words tomorrow for the Cleaners?
My main thing is this. Now with the Cleaners, I know we're brothers. Shockey, Luke, we've traveled up and down the roads we're starting to travel up and down the roads together, but somehow, in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna have to face my demons, because I've never beaten you two before as a tag team. No matter what tag team I tag myself with, I can't seem to get over the hump. If you're a football fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't get over the hump, the perceived hump, which is the Cleaners. Yeah. But this Sunday, I feel like I have the perfect partner. This Sunday, I feel like I have a guy who actually has my back in Falcone.
And he was very impressive as well last week. He was very impressive on home TV.
And this Sunday, I feel like when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, myself and Falcone are going to walk out still roommates champions. And the cleaners are going to have to find yet another way or yet another excuse as to why they couldn't find a way to beat Torrance Banks and Lawrence Falcone as a team.
Well, you know
instead
what?
of individuals.
We're going to find out. There's no question. Tomorrow, you need to tune in to Home on their YouTube channel. You can watch all of the action, and it's a tribute to Benny Blanks. And we're obviously keeping everybody in Home in our thoughts about Benny. And obviously, he's definitely looking down on the guys, and he's very proud. And we're very proud to talk about Home and all the great talents there. And if you want to follow Torrance on Instagram, please check him out, support him, and we look forward to him coming on here next month. Before I get to closing thoughts, do you want to share anything else you want to plug that we haven't got to discuss tonight?
I am starting a new series on my YouTube channel.
Well, I'm going to plug that right now while you do that. Go ahead.
Starting a gaming series. I play a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. If anybody
I saw that on Facebook, and I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Years ago, but I will put it up in a minute.
I used to play the trading card game all the time when I was in like middle school, high school, and now they got the game on the phone, and I've been on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kick, so I played the phone game Master Duel on my phone, where I've posted my first video on my YouTube channel for Master Duel. Yep. That video right there. That is the video. That is the new series that I will be posting either Saturday or whenever. Basically, I'm showing. I use a Blue Eyes deck. And I'm showing different ways of like how you can beat your opponents with that deck, with that exact deck, with the combo that I use. As you can tell on the screen, with the strategy, with the hand that I have, I can make something happen out of it. And
this is really interesting.
Yeah, it's called the game is called Master Duel by Konami. It's basically all the cards from the show that they have those cards in game. So, like for example, Blue Eyes White Dragon inherits summons Alternative Dragon, which pops his monster that's in attack mode, and then Mausoleum of White summons some special unit. It's basically the combination that I created that can help me get my field loaded by the end of the duel. Like this one took me 5 turns to beat this person.
Wow.
Yep. And then that attacks that. Yeah, that was a bad dice roll from me. Which I eat 2,500 damage, which sucks because, and then that card activates for that. Yep. And then that's the end piece of the combo that I have that I needed to win this duel. Was the monster in my hand where you can see my hand, the blue one, is the logo that I have that's standing on that platform right there. Yeah. The card is called, if you watch the original series, if you watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV show, there was a duelist down there named Seto Kaiba. Seto Kaiba used to use a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. I
do vaguely remember that. That was a while ago.
Yes, what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a Blue Eyes deck in my own version and twist it and alternate it into something where I can easily win against opponents. And I feel like the deck that I'm using now, as you can tell, the last turn it was 5. This turn it was a 4-turn victory for me. I can basically twist it and alternate it into a winning deck. And I might try my hand at the Duelist Cup when it starts in April with Master Duel and just start recording that.
We're going to see you like every week on this? Almost every week?
Recording wise, yeah. You guys will see me as much as I can free upload. I'll upload as much as I can, which I want to because I'm having fun with making videos like that. Like I'm having fun.
Really interesting. I'm gonna connect you. I think Sean Jovi plays Yu-Gi-Oh. I think there's a bunch of guys.
I've heard of Sean Jovi. Jovi's pretty cool. I've heard of Jovi.
I think he plays Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm gonna screenshot. If you're not on Facebook with him, I'm gonna screenshot your profile to him when we're off the air because I'm pretty sure he's a Yu-Gi-Oh player. He's like, there's certain guys I know that play Yu-Gi-Oh. Some of the DBW guys. So I'm gonna send this out actually when we get off the air. So that might actually create some buzz. That's pretty cool because I mean I played Yu-Gi-Oh years ago, but you're not gonna get me unfortunately to play Yu-Gi-Oh at this point because I don't have time. But
I played the TCG years ago. Like I had the cards. I was collecting the cards. I was doing the tournament scene and doing all that stuff.
I had a buddy of mine who did the tournaments. I didn't do the tournament. I just played with my friend and I. We would go in Brooklyn. That we have almost it's like a Chinatown. We would go and like we would buy all the certain cards. I think I still have my deck somewhere. I'll have to find it, but it was a lot of fun. My friend played the tournaments years ago.
They still got like trading card stores out here that do their own tournaments.
Yeah, I've noticed that the trading cards stores have kind of come back a little bit because I see it out here in Brooklyn and Staten Island. But if you're here, do me a favor, give Torrance a sub on his YouTube page. I'm gonna regardless connect him to Sean Jovi and a few other guys I know that play, so that way maybe they'll do something special and who knows what else, but that'll be fun. But let me pass the baton to you. Let me give you some closing thoughts, and I'm looking forward to next month with you. But in the meantime, you have the floor, and take it away, good sir.
My closing thoughts are this. If you've watched House of Misfits so far and have seen the chaos that has consumed it so far, wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to get even more epic. Like, I know what the main event should be. Honestly, the main event should be Vargas versus Onyx because their storyline has gotten
head of the household title. Yep.
Yes, gotten very personal. And it's just the storylines we have right now and coming up are going to be just insane. So like I said, like Tom said, I'm going to say it again. Subscribe to House of Misfits. Subscribe to Home because you're going to want to see more after. If you've never watched this episode, go back and watch some of our episodes. We have good ones.
Absolutely.
We even have Shocky's House Party uploaded to that channel. So also subscribe to our friends at NEW.
Yes,
they get our name out there. They support us. We support them.
I mean, NEW
on a real friendship sort of thing. Yep.
Yeah, they've been supportive of a lot of us. So yes, please support NEW. I would really
exactly. And then also keep tuning in to Sportzwire. Keep watching Sportzwire because I know Tom got some people coming up real soon. Like tomorrow, you think I was good? His guest tomorrow is going to be even better.
Well, listen, you've actually become one of my favorites. I don't say that, you're very good. Listen, we got a lot of good guests. They're all great in their own way, but I'm excited about the NEW and the home ones. Joe, I think Joe's here next Saturday in your chair. I think so. Joe will be here. So we'll tune into Joe. Jake will be back. I think Jake is, going to be rescheduled. So we'll get Jake back. Vargas is here in 3 weeks. So we have a lot, I still got to get Shock on here. Shock is like the hardest man to get on.
You just got to get Shocky. No, I mean, you've had me.
Hard to get, somebody asked me when's Shocky coming on. I'm like, I try, but he's like, on daddy duty half the time.
Yeah, you've had me. You've had Vargas. You've had Luke. Now you just got to get Shocky to have a solo episode.
Onyx I was going to get Onyx, but Vargas didn't seem too thrilled about that prospect. So I think we have to.
I wonder why. I'm just playing. I know why. I know why.
But Onyx will come on. Onyx, we've spoken, and I would like to bring him on soon. So Onyx,
I have a feeling he will.
I think so.
Sure.
Onyx
but, yeah.
we had a good conversation. I shared one of his posts on Facebook. So yeah, I would like to have Onyx on. So those are my guests to come on, and I'm gonna bring you on monthly. I like talking to you. So don't sell yourself short. And great things ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say, hopefully the next time when we do talk like this, hopefully the other guy that I want to face comes on here to have a little face-to-face meeting.
I'll let him know.
Mr. Belmont.
I'll let him know. I'll tell you what. I'll let Mr. Belmont know. We're going to schedule you when we're off the air in a few minutes, and I'll tell Mr. Belmont when you're coming on next. How about that?
Absolutely. That'd be fun. Yeah.
I would. I love
me and him to have a little face-to-face.
Oh, listen, and that would be. I want to talk to Rad. I'm going to see. I'll schedule you, and I'll see if Rad is available and not wrestling an indie show. But yeah, we could definitely do that. But in the meantime, hit the sub button for Torrance on YouTube. Hit the sub button also for NEW. Hit the sub button for Home, and follow Torrance on Instagram as well. And you will see more coverage here next Saturday. Joe Starr is here, so I'm sure we'll tune into that one. And Mickey Vargas is here in 3 weeks. I think that's 3 weeks from Sunday. So we have some great local stuff ahead. And stay tuned for more. And please check out Home tomorrow to watch the Benny Blanks tribute show. And Champ, good luck out there tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing the entire show. Looking forward to seeing what happens here at NEW. Hope to see you soon. And thank you for all that you do for our sport. And I'll also, like I said, connect you to Jovi with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Here when we get off the air. And I'll see you next month.
All right. I'll see you guys all next month. You guys at Sportswire, have a good evening and take care.
That was Torrance Banks, the big dog himself, one half of the Home Roommates Champions. You'll be in action tomorrow defending those championships against the Cleaners. You'll also see him in action coming up in the Riot in the Ring too. You'll see him in action coming up for NEW very soon. And apparently you'll also see him in the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational when that'll occur. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally. We're all wrestling mad. Also, thank you to Joe Starr with a rather more tamer cameo this time compared to his most recent cameo. But hit the sub button for Home, NEW, and Torrance. I'll see everybody tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio.